After my last video, when I got a message from one of my name be Red's mods asking me to make a Twitch bot for them, I knew I could not disappoint. The task at hand was pretty simple. Create a bot that connects to the channel and looks for two commands, !cactus, which adds anyone that uses it to a list called the bathroom, and !bathroom, which checks to see how many people are in the list. Why is it named the bathroom? In my last video, I began creating a Twitch bot for a game I am making in C#, so I went ahead and began creating another bot using that same programming language, thinking it was going to be pretty simple. And I did get the code running within an hour or so, and working how I wanted it to. Now you may be thinking, wait, hold up, if it was so easy to make the code, then how come we're not even halfway through the video? It may be because I'm too stupid to figure out how to host it. I usually use Something Host for my Python code since it's easy to set up and is just like running off your computer. However, when I tried to set it up for .NET, I couldn't get it working at all. I even tried using Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure, which both support C#, but for whatever reason I couldn't get either of them to work with what I had written. This probably means it's something with my code, but I honestly couldn't figure it out, so I really only have a few options here. I could keep trying to get this existing code to work, which we don't know if that'll actually end up working or not. I could call off the project, which I really just don't want to do. Or I could learn an entirely new API library made for Python that I know will work. For the new code, I decided to use the API library Twitch.io because it seemed very similar to Discord Pi, which I've used in the past, and it was the only library I could find with good documentation, so just like my last legal dispute, I settled. The code itself is pretty simple. You basically run an init function which is called whenever the code is run, which connects the code to Twitch's servers, checks if the bot has proper access, and then connects it to the channels specified. Twitch.io is nice because it is event-driven, meaning you write specific functions with specific names, and those functions will be called automatically in set scenarios with no extra work for you. To test it, I set up an event_ready, which is basically called whenever the bot is, well, ready. And everything seemed to be working perfectly fine. Next up was to create the commands. You do this by adding this decorator tag to a function, which allows the name of the function to act as a command in chat if it has the proper prefix. I started with !cactus since it needed to be set up first to set up the other. Basically, it checks a database I set up to see if the user is in said database. If they aren't, then it adds them to it. If they are, then it tells them that they are, along with the date they joined the bathroom. !bathroom was just as simple. You just grab everything from the database and see how many things it returns. There were two more things I wanted to do for this bot. The first being I wanted it to greet the streamer whenever they go live, which you think would be pretty easy, but took me an entire day. The reason for this is the documentation for Twitch.io isn't the best in the world. As far as I could tell, there was no way to see if a channel was actually live or not, which felt like an oversight to me, but whatever. I tried numerous different tactics, like checking if there's a game being played, checking the start time, etc, nothing worked. Turns out the answer was really simple. If you try to get a reference to a channel when they're offline, it returns nothing. So you pretty much just do this every time you want to see if a channel is online or not. I spent 4 hours trying to figure this out. What the fuck? The last thing I wanted was to be able to add channels it would watch while the bot is still running so I didn't have to turn it off every time. I did this by hooking it up to a Word document, and when something is added to it, it connects to the channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The bot is running on Bread's streams, so the next time he goes live, which is usually the weekends, you can see it in action. I want to do some smaller updates here in the future, which I don't know if I'll be making a video about, maybe I will, so subscribe to keep a lookout for that. Either way, have a good one.